My beloved child, let your heart become still in this moment, like the surface of a lake that ceases to ripple after the wind has passed. For I am bending close to you with the tenderness you have longed for. There are things I do not speak through thunder, nor reveal through dazzling signs before the eyes of mankind. But I place deep within your soul a hidden trembling, a call as gentle as breath, enough for you to know that you have never been abandoned. You have passed through long days that seemed as though only you could understand them. You have smiled at others, while within you was a dry and barren land. You have wondered in the depth of night whether your prayers ever rose to heaven, or simply dissolved into the darkness. But I speak to you today, do not fear, for I am with you, as it is written in the book of Isaiah, and that word is not only for those of old, but is being laid upon your heart in this very hour, like fragrant oil poured upon a hidden wound. Perhaps you have sought a sign many times, not because you lacked faith, but because your heart had grown weary after too many seasons of waiting. You looked at the things happening around you and thought that everything was merely a quiet randomness passing by. That joy, loss, meeting, and separation were only fragments scattered through life. But my child, I want you to understand that in my hand, no fragment is meaningless. What you call delay, I may be using to protect you. What you call loss, I may be using to open a space for a greater grace to enter. What you call silence is often the very moment when I am working most deeply in the place you cannot see. For it has been written, all things work together for good to those who love God. And remember, that good does not always come in the form you expect, but it always comes according to the wisdom of the one who knows the end of your path. I have seen you in the moments when you thought no one saw you. I have heard even the words you had not yet formed into speech. There are sighs you thought were weakness, but before me, they became prayers. There are tears you quickly wiped away so others would not notice. But heaven did not miss a single one. Do you remember Hagar in the wilderness? She was not someone honored by many, nor did she stand in the temple, nor was she surrounded by a crowd to support her. She fled in loneliness, carrying shame, fear, and an uncertain future. Yet, in the desert, the angel of the Lord came to find her, called her by name, and asked where she had come from and where she was going. Then she called the Lord, the God who sees her, because in the place where no one sought her, God found her. My beloved child, that story is not far from you, for there are times when you, too, are like Hagar, walking through your own wilderness, thinking you have been pushed to the margins. Yet it is there that I still call your name with a love that has not diminished. Therefore, do not despise this moment, and do not think that my word coming to you is merely an accidental echo. Many times, grace does not come like a great door swinging wide before your eyes, but like a ray of light slipping through the cracks of the soul, just enough for you to know that there is still a way forward. You once asked me for confirmation, and perhaps you expected it to come through people, through circumstances, through an event so clear that you could not doubt it. But my child, I often choose gentler ways so as not to overwhelm you. I place within you a peace that cannot be explained. I cause you to hear a sentence at exactly the right time. I lead you to a reminder when you think you are about to give up. I allow you to encounter a page of a book, a song, a morning, a brise, a silence. And in all those small things, I whisper, you still belong to me. Do not measure the value of your life by the dark seasons you have passed through. Darkness has no right to name you. Failure has no right to draw conclusions about you. The times you have fallen cannot erase the holy seed I placed within your heart before you even understood who you were. When Jeremiah had not yet recognized his calling, I said, Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. You are the same. You are not an afterthought, not a wandering soul drifting through life. You are known, called by name, protected, and prepared for a journey more meaningful than anything you have dared to believe. Perhaps today you can only see scattered pieces of the road, but I see the whole tapestry being woven together by grace, patience, and perfect timing. My child, stop blaming yourself for the days when you were weak. I did not come to crush a bruised reed, nor to extinguish a smoldering wick. I came to lift you up, to wash the dust of the road from your feet, and to place back within you the courage that fear had taken away. When you do not know how to pray, simply sit before me in the honesty of your heart. When you no longer have strength to speak, let your tears speak in your place. When you can no longer see a way out, hold on to this word. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Green pastures do not always appear immediately after the storm, but the good shepherd never leaves his flock in the valley of shadow. And now, open your heart and receive this tenderness. I do not demand that you become strong immediately, nor do I force you to understand everything in a single day. I only want you to take one more step in faith, breathe one more breath in hope, and let your soul remember that heaven has not been silent before your pain. The things you have gone through were not meant to bury you, but to deepen the roots of faith within you. Your wounds are not the end. They can become the very places where light enters most brightly. Believe that I am leading you. Even when you cannot yet see the map, I am hearing you. Even when you have not yet seen the answer, I am preserving you. Even when you feel as fragile as a leaf before the wind, my beloved child, lift up your head, for your life is not small in my eyes. You are not forgotten. You are not walking alone. And my word to you today is a word of steadfast love. Remain in my peace. For my hand is still upon you, my beloved child. Be still in this moment, like dry ground, quietly waiting for the first rain of the season, like an empty vessel opened beneath the stream of living water. I do not come to you with the noise of the world, nor do I come as a fleeting lullaby that fades into the night. I come to touch the deepest place of your heart, where you have hidden feelings you do not know how to name, questions you once whispered in the darkness, and longings you lifted up many times, only to quietly lay them down again for fear of disappointment. You thought there were tears that fell to the ground and were remembered by no one, but I saw them. You thought there were sighs carried away by the wind, but I heard them. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted, and that word is not only for a distant age, but is also the breath I place upon you today. So you may know that in every long night, you have never been abandoned. My child, the first thing I want you to hold like a lamp within your heart is this. Your life is not a speck of dust accidentally blown into the world by the wind. You were not born out of cold randomness, nor do you exist as a meaningless dot in the vast current of life. Before you knew how to name the light, I knew you. Before your hands touched this world, I saw the seasons that would come upon your life. Scripture says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. And hear that word as the voice of a father calling his child from before you were formed. I know not only your name, I also know the wounds you would carry, the paths that would weary you, the times you would want to turn away from yourself, and the days when you would rise in grace stronger than the things you once feared. Therefore, do not despise the heartbeat within your chest. To the world, it is only a sign of life, but in my eyes, every beat is a testimony that I am still preserving you. You are still breathing, which means I have still placed a mission within you. You are still walking, which means your journey has not ended. You can still feel pain, which means your heart has not become hardened. You can still hope. which means there is still a seed of heaven within you. Do not let dry seasons make you think, I have forgotten the harvest. The seed beneath the ground is not dead. It is silently breaking open in the darkness. In the same way, there are things I am doing within you that are not loud, not hurried, but enduring like roots, searching for deep water beneath the earth. I know there are times when you look back at your life and ask, if you are truly loved, why did you have to pass through such winding paths? If you have value, why have some people abandoned you, misunderstood you, or wounded you, my child? Do not measure my love by the way people have treated you. People may look at you through your mistakes, achievements, appearance, reputation, but I look at you through the original purpose I placed within you. When David was still a shepherd boy in the fields, hardly anyone thought he was the chosen one. Even when the prophet Samuel came to the house of Jesse, the strong and tall older brothers were presented before him one by one. But I spoke an eternal truth. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. Do you see? People may overlook you at the very end of the line, but I never overlook the one I have called by my name. Remember the story of Hagar, the woman driven into the wilderness, carrying her child and a little water that was running out in the skin. She thought life had closed in upon her, that the cry of her child would soon sink into the hot sand. But in the place where no one came searching, I came. My angel called her. Her eyes were opened, and she saw a well of water nearby. My beloved child, many times what you need is not another world, but eyes opened by me to recognize the water source I have already placed beside you. There are blessings nearer than you imagine. There are ways of escape prepared before you entered the desert. There are hands of help that quietly arrived before you had time to collapse. So do not call yourself an outcast. Do not say your life is only broken pieces. Do not let your weekdays name your entire life. I am the one who has the right to name you. I call you beloved child, a work of grace, an earthen vessel containing treasure, a lamp that can be lit again, even if it once flickered weakly. Scripture says, we are His workmanship, created for good works. And I want you to understand that you were not created to bow forever before fear. You were created to carry light, not the arrogant light of one who wants to prove himself, but the gentle light of one who has been healed and knows how to lift others up. If your present is still full of confusion, I do not blame you for being tired. I know your strength has limits. I know there are mornings when you wake with a heart as heavy as stone, and nights when you wonder how much longer you can endure. But my child, let me teach you that weakness does not make you lose your value before me. A child who stumbles does not cease to be his father's child. A sheep that strays does not lose the value that causes the shepherd to leave the 99 and go search for it. Jesus told that parable so you would understand the heart of heaven. I do not love you only when you are strong, clean, and walking on the right path. I also go searching for you when you are confused, dusty, and trembling in the dark ravine. And when I find you, I do not come to crush you with condemnation. I come to bind your wounds. I come to lift you upon my shoulders. I come to bring you back to the place where you belong. Perhaps you once thought you had to completely fix yourself before you could draw near to me. But my beloved child, come while you are still broken. Come when you do not yet know how to pray. Speak to me with the truth in your heart. Come when you feel you have nothing worthy left to offer. And give me your weariness. Come to me, all who are weary and burdened. That invitation is still open, like an unlocked door. I do not ask you to pretend to be at peace. I want you to enter my peace. Lift your eyes, even if only a little. Do not keep staring at what has not yet happened, what has not yet arrived, what has not yet been healed. I am writing your life with ink that your present moment cannot yet fully read. There are passages written through tears, but they do not end in tears. There are chapters that pass through the desert, but they lead to a well. There are seasons of sowing in silence, but the day of harvest will resound with joy. Joseph was sold, misunderstood, and forgotten in prison, but what others used for harm, I turned into a path that saved many lives. So do not rush to draw conclusions about your life when you are still in the middle of the story. I want you to live today with a gentle yet firm faith. You are known, preserved, and guided, even when the road before you is still unclear. I remain the lamp for your feet, even when you do not understand why you must wait. I remain the one who is never late, even when your heart is tender and weak. I can still make grace sufficient for you. Let every breath become a quiet thanksgiving. Let every small step become an act of trust. Let every wound, when placed in my hands, become a place where light enters. My beloved child, I have not forgotten you. I was not mistaken when I created you. I do not regret loving you. From the beginning, I placed upon your life a meaning that darkness cannot erase. People cannot steal, and failure cannot bury. Rest in that truth, like a child resting in the arms of the Father. Then, when you rise, you will not rise by your own strength, but by my promise supporting your steps. Go, my child, not in fear, but in faith that the one who began a good work in you will bring it to completion in his beautiful timing. My beloved child, let your soul settle into stillness like the surface of a lake when the wind has ceased to stir it. For in that quietness you will hear my voice, gentler than all the noise of the world. I do not come to you as a strange echo, nor do I place in your hands a fragile promise that can warm you only for a moment. I come as the fountain of living water, as timely rain poured upon cracked earth, as light quietly slipping through the doorway of a room once closed by weariness and doubt. You have passed through many days when it seemed no one understood your heart. There are things you buried so deeply that even you feared touching them. Sighs you swallowed in the night. Questions you dared not speak because you feared the answer would wound your heart even more. But I, the one who formed you in love, have never turned my face away from you. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. As Psalm 34:18 declares, therefore, do not think your tears have fallen into meaninglessness. For every tear is seen by me in the light of mercy. Perhaps you once asked yourself why you are here on this earth, why your journey has had such confusing turns, why you tried so hard and still sometimes felt left behind. But my child, do not let dark days define your origin. You are not a drifting fragment carried by random waters, nor are you the result of a careless wind passing through history. Before you knew how to name pain, I knew your name. Before you could walk upon the earth, I placed within you a mark that belongs to heaven. My word once declared, your eyes saw my unformed substance. In your book were written all the days ordained for me before one of them came to be. According to Psalm 139:16, so when you feel your life is scattered, remember that in my hands, no piece is unnecessary, no passage is useless, and no crack is beyond the power of my grace to turn it into a place where light shines through. Look again at your own breathing, not with the indifference of someone too accustomed to merely existing, but with the wonder of a soul that has just realized it is loved. Every heartbeat in your chest is a small bell I placed within your body to remind you that you are still called, still preserved, still part of a plan greater than what your eyes can presently see. When the world tells you to prove your worth through success, reputation, recognition, or open doors before you, I say to you that your worth does not begin with what you can accomplish, but with the love I have placed upon you. Isaiah 43:4 says, because you are precious in my sight, honored, and I love you. Let that word sink into the deepest place, the place wounded by criticism, rejection, and comparisons that made you feel small. You do not need to fight for light, because I have placed light within you. Even so, I know there are seasons when you look at the ashes of the past and think nothing can ever grow from them again. You look at your failures as though you are looking at a gravestone bearing your name in a cemetery of hope. You remember the times you stumbled, the wrong decisions, the paths you walked with a heart full of regret, and then you ask whether I can still use a life like yours. But, my beloved child, I do not look at you with condemning eyes as you often look at yourself. I am the one who makes the desert bloom, who opens a way through the sea, who calls by name those who have been forgotten. Behold, I am doing a new thing, now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. As Isaiah 43:19 declares, what you call an ending, I can turn into a beginning. What you call loss, I can use to teach you deeper mercy. What you call delay, I can use to prepare for you a stronger foundation. Do you remember the story of Joseph? That young man carried dreams from me in his heart, but the road to their fulfillment was not paved with flowers or applause. Joseph was sold by his brothers, driven into a foreign land, falsely accused, imprisoned, and there were years when every promise seemed locked behind iron doors. But I was with him in the house of slavery, with him in the prison, with him through the days when no one called his name. At the time I appointed, the very place that seemed to bury Joseph became the staircase that raised him to save many people from famine. When Joseph looked back, he said to his brothers, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good. According to Genesis 50:20, my child, I recount this so you may understand that not every turn in the road is a sign that you have been abandoned. Some detours are the very places where I quietly train your heart, soften what is hardened, heal what is broken, and prepare you for a blessing that, if it had come too soon, you would not yet have had the strength to carry. Therefore, when you are in the middle of a long night, do not rush to conclude that dawn has forgotten you. Darkness has no right to rule your life. It is only a temporary curtain before my light breaks forth. Psalm 30:5 reminds you, weeping may stay for the night, but joy comes in the morning. Listen carefully. My beloved child, tears are only passing guests. They are not permitted to build a permanent home in your soul. Sorrow may visit, trials may make you tremble, but they are not the masters of your destiny. I am your Father, the one who holds your tomorrow in the palm of my hand. When you are weak, I do not despise you. When you are weary, I do not drive you with the whip of fear. When you lose your way, I do not abandon you among the thorns. I am the gentle shepherd who comes searching for you, carries you on my shoulders, and brings you back to the green pastures of peace. So rise first within your heart before your feet are strong enough to continue walking. Let hope be rekindled like a lamp in the sanctuary. Do not call yourself a failure when I call you beloved child. Do not call your life meaningless when I have written upon it with eternal purpose. Do not let the voice of circumstances become louder than the word I have spoken. You may not yet see the whole picture, but I am weaving every thread, even the dark ones, into a tapestry of grace that one day you will look back upon in awe. Romans 8:28 says, all things work together for good to those who love God. Not all things are pleasant. Not all things are immediately understood. But in my hands, all things can be redeemed, purified, and transformed to serve what is good. My beloved child, Rest in this truth. You were created with purpose, loved by name, and preserved by faithfulness that does not change. You do not need to run from your wounds, because I can touch them and turn them into testimonies of healing. You do not need to fear the past, because I am greater than everything that is past. You do not need to tremble before the future, because before you set foot in tomorrow, I am already there. Give me your weariness, your broken pieces, and the dreams you thought had gone cold. I will not extinguish a smoldering wick, nor will I break a bruised reed. I will lift you up with fatherly love, teach you to walk again in the light, and remind you each day that you are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You were not born to live in ashes, but from those ashes, I will cause a new dawn to rise for your soul. My beloved child, while your heart is still running after things it has not yet been able to name, I want you to pause beside me for a moment, not so I can rebuke you for being tired, nor to demand that you become stronger, but so I can place my gentle hand upon your soul and remind you that you were not created to live inside the endless whirlwind of anxiety. You have passed through so many days with heavy shoulders, trying to fulfill what others expected, trying to smile though you were breaking inside, trying to keep walking though your mind had become as dry as cracked earth beneath a long sun. But my child, I have never called you to me as a worker who must present his achievements. I call you as a child coming home to the Father. Therefore, when the noise of life pulls you away, when responsibilities surround you like high walls, remember what is written: "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters." It is not because you have become worthy enough that I allow you to rest, but because I am Father, and my love always goes before your weakness. There are days when you think drawing near to me must be reserved for free moments. When everything is finished, when the house is quiet, when your mind is no longer tangled. But my beloved, if you seek me only after the storm has passed, you will forget that I am the one who can calm the sea within you. The time you give to me is not lost space, but a hidden spring that nourishes the roots of your soul. People measure value by achievement, by speed, by things that can be seen. But I look at you through the covenant of love, through the name you bear in my house. You are not precious because of how much you can do, nor are you less precious when you slow down, fail, or become exhausted. You are precious because you belong to me. So when you kneel in silence, when you speak to me with a few clumsy words, when all you can do is sigh and you cannot complete a prayer, heaven still listens, because God does not despise a broken and contrite heart. Be careful with the whispers that draw you away from me. They are not always fierce. Sometimes they wear the clothing of reason, saying that you have too many things to do, that you must handle everything yourself. That prayer changes nothing, that I am too far away to hear your voice. But I tell you that those words do not come from the light. The enemy does not need to pull you into darkness all at once. He only needs to distract you little by little until you forget the source of your life. He wants you to believe that burdens are your portion, that you must prove yourself worthy of love. But I have spoken through my only Son. Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Do you hear it? That word is not for the perfect, but for the weary, not for those who have arranged everything neatly, but for those who need to be carried. So do not wait until you are better before you return. Return right now as you truly are, with tears, with trembling, with the things you have not yet been able to fix. Now, my child, let today become a gentle beginning, not a beginning marked by pressure, but by turning your face toward the light. Give me the things you cannot control. the fears you keep hidden, the expectations that suffocate you, the weariness you no longer know how to name. I will not break a bruised reed, nor extinguish a smoldering wick. I will lift you little by little, heal you piece by piece, and teach you to discern my voice from the chaos of this world. And as you remain in me, you will see your soul bathed in a peace that surpasses all understanding. A peace that does not depend on circumstances, because it comes from the very heart of your Father in heaven. Draw near to me, my beloved child. I am still here, still waiting for you, still calling your name with everlasting love.